In this video, I'm going to provide my economic risk score analysis update for November 2019. Some of the things I've seen, I do want to share month over month. There have been some deterioration in this analysis, so I do want to share that with you. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Jared Ayers. I am a CFA charter holder and have created this channel to share videos like this where I give you an idea of how I think about investing. Certainly I have a strong belief that even if you're a bottom-up investor, you ought to understand what's happening in the macro environment. So this is an example of one of those videos. I've created this channel, of course, to share not only this type of information, but a whole bunch of other things relating to investing. So I hope you get some value from it. So before jumping into the analysis, as in previous economic risk score analysis updates, I will provide a link in the description of this video where you can find a video I've created in the past that shows step by step exactly how I go through this full analysis, including the data I use, etc. This in particular video is just going to give you an update, a high level, as to where we are currently in November versus the most recent history and where I think things might be heading. So without further ado, let's jump into the analysis. So as before in these updates, what you see before you is a summary of my economic risk score analysis, really kind of trying to capture where we are in the business cycle. Although I will link to the video where I describe all the details on how to build this really quickly for those who may be seeing this for the first time. I've got my 13 indicators here that I follow diligently, really on a monthly basis, updating them for the results. Most of them are monthly in nature anyway. I apply a predictive power categorization, whether it's leading or lagging, that then produces a weighting, either 50 or 100%, then the date of the most recent data, time weight applied to that data. If it's older, obviously it doesn't get as much weight as if it is more recent, and then a total weighting. From there I decide what the direction of the indicator is whether it's decreasing or increasing, and then the rate of change, whether it's steady, accelerating or decelerating. From this perspective then, for the month of November we get to 2.4. Interesting enough, the direction of indicators, every single indicator is currently decreasing, and the scores for almost every single indicator have now turned negative, with the exception of the kind of consumer areas being consumer confidence and retail sales. The interesting thing, of course, jobless claims, unemployment rate also usually coincide with that, and they are decreasing at a decelerating rate, meaning that we could be seeing a change coming down the pipe for those, but nothing too certain yet. But still not a great sign. It just hasn't really moved very far. So all in all, month over month, we saw about a 3.9 in October, now down to 2.4, again on a 10-point scale. That's not a very good score to have at all. So again, indicators are once again saying be cautious. So that's exactly what I'm planning on doing. So if we go into now looking at the sort of asset allocations with these indicators, this puts us kind of into the range here of 2.4 to 3.7 on the lower end, of course. Equities then, of course, being about 20%, bonds 20%, cash, gold, and managed futures at 5%. So really a cautious asset allocation is basically what this is explaining to me. If we look back at compare November to the previous few months, you can see it's pretty much the second lowest that we've seen since June, and of course correspondingly the second lowest or risk averse allocation accordingly. So again, 2020, 55 and 5. with a lot of weighting into the defensive asset classes, very little weighting into equities. So again, not that I necessarily hit the panic button and sell everything. This is a guide I use to determine where I think we are in the business cycle, and the scores I come up with and the allocations I've come up with are purely mine. And not to say anyone should use this by any stretch of the imagination, but for me in my investment process, it helps me understand again where we are in the cycle and whether or not I should be cautious and holding basically my assets in the more cautious categories, being very defensive and cognizant that no matter what the S&P 500 is doing, whether it's reaching new highs, whatever's happening in the media, whether everyone's euphoric and happy and saying that everything is going to be rosy for the foreseeable future, for me, I need something more objective than that, and this provides that for me. So again, not necessarily a recipe for precisely what I need to then go and do, but I will probably take another look at my portfolio allocation, and if there's equities that maybe I have an opportunity to sell, maybe they've gone up in value as things have been rising, then I may start to trim a few positions and head towards that lower weighting, and then look at other opportunities in the other asset classes to build up my positions. So I hope that was helpful. So hopefully you got some utility out of that video. Like I said, if you do want to find out exactly the details on how I build everything up, I will link, like I said, to the description of this video where I kind of explain it in more detail in the other video that I created. If you did like this video, do please give me a thumbs up, hit the like button, and if you have any comments or concerns, questions, etc. about any of the content of this video, please do let me know in the comment section. And if you are new to my channel and would like to subscribe to see similar content, then do by all means hit the subscribe button. So until next time, thank you very much for watching.